Okatakyie Afrifa led a demonstration, but he has been leading these demonstrations on Galamsey for a long time. Okatakyie, what was the first demonstration you led against Galamsey? Which year?
Oh, good evening.
Yes.
Good evening to your viewers from far and near. I saw you giving it to my constitutional law lecturer. That's Afrifa-Mensah.
Oh, he's a beautiful man.
Yesterday he came there. When I saw him, I just bowed and said, "Good evening, sir."
Oh, you saw him yesterday?
Yeah. When we were almost done with the demonstration, he came around. He wanted to be sure that all went well, and I think when I saw him, because I revere him, I just bowed and
he's a good
showed
man.
him respect. Yes, he is, and he is a very intelligent and brainy person. So when you were giving it to me, I was like, okay, that's my lecture. But then, it is what it is. So you were asking me about demonstrations that I've led in this country.
Yes, the Galamsey.
Yes, with Galamsey, I've taken different steps. Myself and my colleagues, we've taken different steps in fighting this menace. But unfortunately, people do have selective hearing, selective amnesia. They decide to choose what they want to remember and what they want to listen to. Other than that, we are in this country when I led Fix the Country demonstrations.
With Oliver?
Side by side. But what people forget is that the Fix the Country demonstration, when Oliver came in first, nobody knew Oliver. So it was myself, Captain Smart, and quite a few other people who were known.
Captain Smart was inside?
Yeah, Captain was inside.
Oh, that's
so
interesting.
all of us were at the forefront of the fight. And when we were done, we went to Takoradi to do demonstration. All these were done in the era of Akufo-Addo.
19, 21?
Yeah, that was 2020, 2021. When I was a full member of the MPP, but yet principle is principle. It does not matter who is in government. Besides that, I took it upon myself with my colleague, Kwame Appiah-Kubi of a Kesman Morning Show. We went all the way to Asankregwa and we did citizen arrest when it was about a month or two to election, such a crucial election like 2024. We were the ones that started the fight against Galamsey, which became very topical, if you remember.
Yeah, the 3 months to the election.
And I said I do not care whether it will go against my party or it won't go against my party. From there, we went to Bomfa Santiachem, where we uncovered that the chairman, the then MPP chairman, I don't know if he's still Chairman Luta, was engaged in some illegal activities. We came out. We said that we were going to expose him. And I did same without having to look back and say that because he's my party chairman, I'm going to overlook things. So this fight...
Didn't the MPP fight you?
Well, obviously your people will be fighting you, but I don't care. You should know me by now. When I believe in a cause and I am fighting for it, even if it's left with me alone, so long as I am clear with what I'm saying and what my conscience is, I think I'm fine. I don't care whether they fight me or not.
No, I think you've established that credibility, having worked, the Galamsey is your focus.
Yes.
And so what's the latest on Galamsey?
So the destruction of our water bodies, we thought by the coming into force of this government, the social contract between us and them, since we gave them the power, they were going to take some extraordinary measures to deal with the Galamsey activities. But unfortunately, it looks like they are doing the same thing that the Akufo-Addo government was doing and expecting different results. So we sat down and we said that we cannot sit down for the government to throw dust into the eyes of the people. So we need to bring the Galamsey issue at the forefront of our conversation. How could we have done that? The only way we could have done that is to raise awareness first through demonstration, which we did yesterday. It was supposed to take a 3-day demonstration, but upon a discussion with the police today, this morning, we had to put it on hold for the police to reorganize themselves and come back, which when we later in the conversation, we probably will go into it.
So you're not continuing tomorrow?
So we are not continuing tomorrow, but the fight still continues unabated. The fight against Galamsey, illegal mining,
this issue about some law has to be repealed. I heard Ken Asibe on Joy FM, I think today, or yesterday. He was backing you. And he was concerned about a law that should be repealed, that everybody agrees should be repealed during the opposition time with President Mahama, and now they are not repealing it. Can you educate us on that? So,
Paul, this is the petition that we were supposed to send to the president on the last day that we would have been done with the... And we have put in here that 4 things that this government ought to have been doing, but they are refusing to do. 1, when they were in opposition, they told us that the Akufo-Addo government should declare a state of emergency on all mining activities so that all of us will come to the drawing board and have a conversation. All stakeholders will have a conversation. Then we will have a cogent plan as to how we can extract our minerals without having to destroy our water bodies and our forests. Yet, more than 100 days in office, the president is unable to declare the state of emergency, which his government was the one telling Akufo-Addo to do. Then in opposition, they told Akufo-Addo to do. We are telling the president that if you can use 3 months to be able to establish a Galamsey board led by Sami Gyamfi.
What's Galamsey board?
The one Sami Gyamfi.
It's a gold board.
I call it Galamsey board because in one breath you say you were against illegal mining. Yet the activities of this Galamsey board is inadvertently going to promote Galamsey.
How?
You say that you want 12 tons of gold every month, but then you are not buying this gold from the big mining companies like Newmont, like Anglo Gold. You are going to buy it from small-scale miners, quote unquote, small-scale miners. When you and I know, Paul, that when we say small-scale mining in this country, it is only on paper that they are described small-scale miners. But the moment they get to the ground, none of the activities are in conformity with the rules that governs the activities of small-scale mining. So when you are a government that sets up a board which says that they are going to target, the main object of the board is to buy gold, and the target is to get more than 12 tons of gold every month from small-scale mining. What are you doing? You are indirectly promoting the illegal mining activities, period. Now, beyond that, we are asking the government that LI 2462, which allows people to enter into our forest and destroy it. Now, when they were in opposition, they argued vehemently that the Akufo-Addo's government should repeal, they didn't say amend, repeal that law. Unfortunately, it looks like they are not being honest with themselves. Right after being voted for, this government say, oh, we've come, we've seen, you're going to say good, you know, so for that matter, we are no longer going to repeal the LI 2462, but we are going to amend it. And we are telling President Mahama and his government that that is not part of the social contract that you signed with us. You gave us your word that when you come in, you are going to repeal the LI 2462. Paul, beyond the LI 2462, there is another LI 2404, which stipulates exactly what this government ought to be doing, and yet it is not doing. It has even gone ahead under Section 6 and Section 8 to prescribe how excavators, earth-moving machines, needs to be documented, needs to be tracked, needs to be engraved with serial numbers, unique serial numbers. And even in the event that a person refuses to do so, when they are arrested, they must be put before the law court. And yet this government is refusing to do so. And we are saying that we are going to use the RTI bill right to the Minerals Commission on grounds of the LI 2404 to provide us with the number of excavators, which so far they've been able to engrave per the law that is supposed to help them operate. So clearly this government is unwilling to fight the illegal mining.
Why is that so? Is somebody benefiting from it?
So at this point,
they make money from it?
Of course, you know, Paul. When we started this fight and we got to the Galamsey...
okay, hold on. Let me ask you. Hold on. I'll come. Right. Let's do a scenario. I'm a politician. I'm a big minister. How do I make money from Galamsey?
Oh, when you... Paul, it's very clear. Those who are the Galamsey side, they know that when people are being given concession, even without you getting into it directly, when you are being given concession...
So I can go to Minerals Commission and say, give concession to Afrifa is my friend.
You don't even sometimes need to go to the Minerals Commission. You have to go to a certain DCE, go to a certain regional minister, and you'll be given a concession area for which you'll be paying dividends to the minister or the DCE. This is trite knowledge.
You mean illegal dividends?
Illegal dividends. This is trite knowledge.
For getting the concession.
That is the more reason the ministers and the DCEs are unable, that is for want of a better word, to fight the Galamsey because they are benefiting directly from it. And we can pretend as though we don't know that these people...
So they bring cash to the minister?
They bring cash to the ministers and the DCEs. Oh. And this is knowledge at the Galamsey site. Everybody knows it.
Oh, so that's why they are so confident when the police can, they say, oh, clear off from here.
Because the DCU or the MCE is the head of DISEC or MUSEC. So clearly, if the police is going to arrest them...
What is DISEC? So
DISEC, that is the District Security Council. The DCE is the head of it. And if the DCE is
like
benefiting...
the National Security Council is headed by the president.
Yes.
The regional is headed by a regional minister.
Then we have the district, which is headed by the DCE.
Okay.
But the DCE is the one in charge of the DISEC. And if he is benefiting from it, why will he have the political will or the energy to fight that menace? And this is knowledge when you go to Galamsey side.
Galamsey, is it that lucrative to pay DCE, pay minister, pay...
Paul, I am telling you that they are able to buy excavators worth about $300,000. And they tell us that within 2 weeks, they will be able to make more than $300,000 within 2 weeks. And in a month, they'll be able to double that amount.
Who is buying the gold?
The government now says that they are going to buy it by the passing of the Galamsey Board Act. They are clearly going to buy it. Now it is no longer a place for a liberal market. The government is going to, it's a state-controlled market. Prior to that, it was being bought by all manner of people. That is through illegal means. So you and I know that when people are benefiting from illegal activities, and I keep on saying that it is the politicians and the traditional authorities that are engaged in these activities. Clearly, we know when you go to the Galamsey side, they will tell you themselves. And national security is here. They've gathered enough intelligence. There's a document that I was working with prior to the elections. It was a national security document that they had gone around the whole country, done a survey on the people that are involved in illegal mining activities. And yet, they will not fight it because these are the very people that sponsor their campaigns one way or the other.
Oh, you mean that Akufo-Addo Security had done that work?
Oh, they have done that work.
Oh, that's a
and
good that's a good
there is a document on it which shows which concession site belongs to who or what. And yet they won't work with it because they are benefiting from it themselves.
But when people come to contribute to politicians for campaign, do they say that this money is from Galamsey?
Oh, clearly they will know it's coming from Galamsey because Galamsey,
you know? Because
Galamsey people are known. They are known. They are not even hiding. They are known when you go to
you mean those in the pit digging who look very...
Not, they are not the people that owns the big money. How can they get money to go and buy an excavator worth 300,000? President John Dramani Mahama told us that the Akufo-Addo's government is aware of the people that are engaged in illegal mining activities. And for that matter, when they deported Aisha One, President Mahama vehemently spoke against it, that law was discriminatory, the act of deporting Aisha One, when in actual fact we are prosecuting Ghanaians to face the full rigors of the law. That is discriminatory. Now he comes to power. Not only is he deporting one or two of Chinese people, but he says through his Minister of Interior, Mutaka, that now his foreign policy when it comes to the fight against Galamsey is that when he arrests any non-citizen who is engaged in any illegal activity destroying our waters and forests, all he would do is to put the person on the plane and say, bye-bye, thank you for coming to destroy our waters. You go and enjoy all the largesse that you've been able to accrue from illegal activities. And we are saying that Article 17...
I thought that was terrible.
In fact, that act per itself is affront to the Constitution.
Yes,
when you read Article 17, 2 and 3...
Let's talk about 17. Godfrey Dami tells me that when he was Attorney General, he jailed so many Chinese on Galamsey.
Right.
He did. So now, those Chinese in prison now, they'll let them go?
Now you, Paul, you've studied law. One of the theories of punishment, when it comes to punishing people, is not just punishing of the person who has committed the act, but it's also serving as a deterrent for people who want to engage in such act.
The prohibition.
So when you are a president, and your foreign policy is that when you arrest Chinese, when you arrest Burkinabes, you are not going to prosecute them. You are not interested in prosecuting them. But you are going to put them on a plane and send them away. What you are indirectly telling them is that the state laws are not going to work. So when I do it and you deport me, I will go and tell Paul that Paul, go to Ghana. It is very lucrative. When they catch you, they won't jail you. And for us, that is discriminatory, which the Constitution and Article 17 clearly speaks against.
But why did Muntaka say that?
Because they have formed Galamsey, Ghana-China Galamsey Board Association.
What's that?
Just recently at Kempiski. We saw Ibrahim Mahama.
The president's brother?
The president's brother. And the crying minister, what's his name?
Crying minister?
The one who cries.
Who is that?
Amakufibua. So,
oh, he's crying?
Yes,
oh,
yes.
Yeah, you mean the video that
he was crying?
But he was crying about Atkontama and he wasn't crying about Galamsey.
I mean, that for me is a crocodile tears. Because he comes from Elembele.
Yes, I know.
That minister comes from Elembele.
Yeah.
And Galamsey activities has virtually ruined the whole of Elembele.
So that's why he was crying?
No. All this while he has not been crying. Now he comes in, and because he understands the psyche of the Ghanaian people, he wants to use this as a means of socially engineering them that we are working is so hard for us. But we tell the minister, if you believe that the activities of Galamsey is so devastating to which you are crying, you go to cabinet, you sit with the president. You should be crying to the president. So President Okatakyie said the activities of Galamsey is so damning, is so devastating, it's an existential threat. And for that matter, the president should go ahead and issue the state of emergency. You are not doing the same. You call a press conference and you come and cry. As soon as you inform me, as solve Galamsey issue. Sabi Akufo-Addo ni tissue pa ko be hunu su. Enso ka che Akufo-Addo so afeli. I don't want to answer. So, Paul, we are saying that the government...
in that famous speech, did he cite Galamsey?
Yes,
the
clearly.
famous Akufo-Addo's final sessional address.
If you say Akufo-Addo has failed...
No, he said that yours is a way not to govern. He told Akufo-Addo that Akufo-Addo's way of
And you think crying is the way to govern? That is a weak leadership that he exhibited right
So
there.
you think that the NDC government doesn't have the political... Because
It doesn't have the
George said
political.
within 1 week, Akufo-Addo can stop Galamsey.
And within 1 week, they are not willing to stop Galamsey. They will not. They are unwilling.
Is it that they found out since they came to government that is difficult, or in opposition they knew that they can't?
They knew that they cannot fight it because one way or the other. John Mahama had been in government from 2009 as the vice president, in 2013 as the president. He knew the situation, and he knows that this activity of going to arrest people, burning excavators, doing A, B, C, and D, it is not the way to solve the issue. Because Akufo-Addo had been doing these activities for the past 8 years, arresting people, burning excavators. And you come in and you are doing exactly what Akufo-Addo was doing. So if you knew that you were going to use the same measure to deal with the issue, with the menace that we face, why did you tell us to fight for you and you're going to use extraordinary measures to deal with an extraordinary situation?
Did he use those words?
We are saying it because this thing is an existential threat which we cannot use usual methods to fight it. We believe that the president should go a notch higher by executing the state of emergency that they preached when they were in opposition. For all of us to come back to the drawing board and find our way forward.
And the repeal.
And the repeal of the LI 2462. And again, using the LI 2404 to work. Paul, let me read some portions of the LI 2402.
I'll come to that. But the gold board really said they're going to buy gold not from existing sources that we know, but from small-scale miners.
That is the object of the gold board.
To buy gold from
small-scale miners and not Newmont. Because you can't go and tell Newmont, you can't go and tell Precious Mining, Anglo Gold Ashanti, that when we've gone on a contract with you and you've gained your gold, you should come and sell it to us and not go to the world market. So the gold board is not targeting these big mining companies. They are targeting the activities of small-scale mining. But like I said, when you say you are targeting activities of small-scale mining, of all the hundreds of licenses that has been issued, not even up to 10 in this country conforms with the regulations that governs the activities of illegal mining. Now, what we are saying is that even when you say you've bought gold and you are going to sell it on the world market, Sami Jamfi knows that there's something called traceability reports, which you are supposed to show. Now, when this traceability report shows that your gold was actually extracted through illegal means which affected our forests and waters, it is not going to be bought by anybody at the gold bullion market. So where are they going to sell the gold? Now we need to look into the activities again, because clearly when they buy gold from illegal mining activities, they cannot sell it at the world London bullion market and other places that we sell gold. So where are they going to sell that gold?
Maybe the China-Ghana mining company will buy it.
The China-Ghana Galamsey Association.
It's not Galamsey, it's mining.
No, they just formed it.
They didn't call it Galamsey, you are calling it Galamsey.
So the more reason that they are not interested in prosecuting Chinese is that one breath, they have formed Ghana-China Galamsey Association. How can they be prosecuting the very people that they have formed association with to go and destroy our water bodies and our forest?
So don't they care about the water bodies being destroyed?
They don't, Paul, they don't.
They don't?
And they will never care.
I don't believe that.
So what we have done is that Generational Right Protection Society, upon handling of this petition to the president, which will find a way to get it to him, what we will do is that we will give him some period. If he does not act, we will take it a notch higher by writing to all the various missions across the nation and all international bodies that are concerned with the destruction of our environment. We will do that. If that does not also work, you know that there is African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which part of the article speaks about the right to life, right to healthy environment, right to good sanitation and water. We will file a case at the Human Rights Court against the government, that the government's activity or inaction to be able to deal with the Galamsey menace is causing all these atrocities to our people. And it is against the articles of the Human Rights Charter. So if the government does not listen, we will go as far as taking the matter to even International Human Rights Court. So we have a lot in place to be able to force our government to take extraordinary measures to deal with the Galamsey issue. Other than that, if we are going to use this kit close, they will never do anything about it.
Erastus Asaridonko said that excavators are being retained. He posted something today.
So excavators were seized, and a certain order from above, according to Erastus Asaridonko, ordered for the release of the excavators.
Back to the people.
Back to the people.
The people from whom it was seized.
Now, Paul, I was about to read the LI 2404. Section 6 of the LI 2404 clearly tells us that when there is an excavator, an earth-moving machine, there should be some steps taken by the Minerals Commission. Now I read it. Section 6 talks about the marking of earth-moving and mining equipment. So in our means and our quest to fight Galamsey, you and I know that but for the using of excavators, but for the using of earth-moving equipment, probably the devastation that we are seeing would have been minimal. The only reason that this devastation is so huge is because people are using excavators. Now, in our quest to deal with it, Section 6 of LI 2404 says that the commission, and here the commission is Minerals Commission. Minerals Commission, that is, shall record the chassis number and conspicuously mark and label. So all the excavators that are being arrested, there is no mark, there is no label. Minerals Commission does not have data on the chassis numbers. Now let's read forward. It says that all earth moving and mining equipment used for mineral operations with the identification code assigned to the earth and moving mining equipment upon registration with the commission. So even before anybody can go into our forest with excavators, they are supposed to go and register with the commission their excavators, just like registering with DVLA your car. Now it goes ahead to say that monitoring the earth, the mark shall be inscribed or etched in order to prevent people from using different excavators. You are supposed to etch or mark the excavator. Now it says that the mark shall be described on both left and right sides and on top of the earth moving and mining equipment to be used for the mineral operations. Yemusa eye Minerals Commission. Say as it stands now, how many excavators in our forest and one marking are etching a serial numbers and unique identifications number 2. Now he goes ahead to say that the commission shall monitor all earth and mining equipment used for mineral operation using A, installed tracking mechanisms and systems for surveillance. Let's ask the commission. This is the law telling you that you are supposed to put some tracking devices in the excavators in our forest. Where are the tracking devices? Have they been able to do that? Are they monitoring? They are not. We are going to file an RTI to the commission to come and tell us how many of these excavators that they have data on. Paul, he goes ahead to tell us that the unmanned area vehicles that include drones for visual and monitoring. So the commission is supposed to be using drones for visual and monitoring. Where are the drones? They are not using it.
Abu Japo says he doesn't find it, doesn't know where they are.
And nobody is being prosecuted.
Frimpong Boateng is the one who bought it.
And nobody is being prosecuted.
No,
we take this lightly.
No, nobody.
Something that is threatening our very existence as a people. We come into government, we throw this into the, drones are here, container are here, and nobody gets prosecuted. Just for the court of public opinion. Is that what we are going to do? This is the difference that we were promised. This is the reset. Paul, I think we should stop joking. Then he goes ahead to say that owners of the earth moving and mining equipment used for mineral operations shall pay annual monitoring fees to the commission. So even the law is saying that you're not going to use your own money to be able to do the monitoring. And yet the commission is unwilling to be able to do these things. It goes ahead to prescribe that in the event that you refuse to do any of these things as an excavator owner, there is an offense prescribed under Section 8 of this act, that is LI 2404. So clearly these laws are there. The commission, the ministry, this government is unwilling, just unwilling, to be able to take these steps to be able to help us. Because insuo na ekunya maame no omo numbi. Insuo na ama ye abatan omo wu ano omo mma na omo nsa omo ni ayira na omo numbi. Insuo na ama obi nyim ano apon no Paul omo numbi. Insuo na ama kidney diseases kosoro omo numbi. It's what we are saying, they can only imagine it, but they cannot understand the plight of the people. And some of us, we've lived it. We've been there. We understand the plight of these people. And we have the voice, we have the platform. We need to fight for what we believe in. And that's what we are doing clearly. Generational Right Protection Society. Just as the likes of Mensah Saba fought the Crowns Act bill to be able to save us a land for the next generation, we believe clearly that we must stand up, we must rise up and fight for the next generation. Other than that, the next generation, Babaka said, I don't want to be counted as such. I don't think you want to be counted as such. So all of us, every Ghanaian, well-reasoning and well-meaning Ghanaian must come on board. It is apolitical. When my party was in government, I fought this menace and I said to myself, if it would take the fight against Galamsey for Akufo-Addo to lose, or Bawumia to lose, I don't care. And I still stand by that. In the same
that's one
vein,
of your photographs of the old one?
Yes, these are the demonstrations I held on several issues. I gave a Akufo-Addo.
But why are you not working with Democracy Hub anymore on this one?
Oliver.
My good friend.
My good friend. Today, I saw he was writing some nonsense on social media.
What did he say?
The demonstration was called off today because the people did not attend. Now, clearly, what is the purpose of demonstration? The sole purpose of demonstration is to raise awareness. As it stands now, as of this morning, the whole of Twitter, we were trending number 1. Galamsey must fall.
Perfect.
The whole of TikTok, we were trending number 1. Perfect. The whole of Facebook, we were trending number 1. So when you've done a demonstration, which in a day, all media houses, it has become a talk of town, everybody is talking about. How do you consider that demonstration as a failed demonstration?
But how many people did Oliver put in his demonstrations? How many were they?
Well, Oliver said he stood in front of the Flagstaff House with 60 people. And for that matter, Oliver, you see, he's my brother. I understand how it hurts when he's not in the forefront, in the middle of discussions. And Oliver, you can keep quiet. I've told you, you are my brother. If you want us to fight on this matter, come on board, let us progress. Because you and I believe you have a genuine heart to fight for the people. Except that some of your methods are sometimes in excess. And I've told you, yesterday we went on a demonstration, a very peaceful one, because we don't want a situation where after the demonstration, the discussions that are supposed to be had will be centered around who beat what, with them,
who removed the police khaki.
So clearly, I want us to deal with this matter. So Oliver, my brother, come back.
Congratulations. Yesterday's demonstration was peaceful. Everything went well.
Right.
And I'm happy that you agreed with the police that it's okay. You made the point. There's no need to go on.
Right.
That's very noble. Let's talk about this. One day I was coming to work and my producer called me and said, boss, Okatakyie has been arrested. And I said, hey, what has he done? He said, we don't know. He's been arrested. So let's find out. So I called my former boss, Ofure Siama, former Minister for Transport. And he said, he's been released. And I said, what was it about? He said he doesn't know. What was that about?
It was in relation to Galamsey.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes.
Well, your guy, I called your guy and he said you were driving behind him.
Okay, so when I say in relation to Galamsey, I had closed from school. I went to write exams, and when I was coming back, my security team, we noticed that some car was tracking us. So we did some stopovers, and they know when we did some stopovers. So we discussed as to whether we should go or we shouldn't. We came to a conclusion that we should. And at the time that I was veering off from the main Gimpa stretch to Christian Village, we saw a team of several well-built men holding AK-47s, using siren, directing me to park and all that. So when they came in, they said, open your car. I said, no, you don't have any right to sit in my car. You know me. I probably will just resist what they were doing. It got to a point they had to say that if I don't do what they're asking me to do, even let me speak to my lawyer, they will not allow me to speak to my lawyer. We stood there for well over 15 to 20 minutes. A certain call was coming through. Oh, order from above. Arrest him. Put him. If he won't go, handcuff him. Put him. Okay, so at some point I said, let's move. Then they moved me all the way to BNI. That is around the Kaukudi.
Greater Accra BNI.
Yes, around the Kaukudi. When we got there, and I'm sure they picked signals that the social media was buzzing and everything. Quickly, they moved me away from BNI to Blue Gate, the main quarters.
Stadium.
Yes, stadium. I went there for well over 1 hour. And all the interrogations being done by my good friend and brother, Osman Alassane. I didn't even know that he was involved in the arrest. Was that I had made a comment to the effect that some national security operatives were guarding people to engage in illegal mining activities. And that was the basis for my arrest.
They wanted to know who are
they wanted to know, but I said that you, national security, you are equipped with all the resources in the world to be able to know who does what or who does not do anything. So if you come and tell me that as a journalist, when I'm giving you information, you have to go through this Rambo style to arrest me, that means I'm not even going to cooperate. So we sat there, we went back and forth. I must also commend Osman Alassane that when he came in, he was very professional. We had a conversation. Then I was released. Subsequently, I was invited again to the national security, following up on the conversations we've had. Then another team from cyber crime unit of the police also came in with a read that somebody had come to make a case which obviously is politically motivated, that I am sextortion, whatever nonsense. I say, okay, clearly. And also, you go me hank of Paul. You walk me all the way to Mifi, to go and do search on a certain warrant. Even the search, at some point, my lawyers have advised that I should not go deep into the matter. So we probably will put it there. But Paul, no amount of intimidation will stop us from fighting for what we believe in.
Oh, so this whole arrest was about this Galamsey issue?
That is what they say.
And then I was in Kumasi when I heard that there's a video that you went to take a wine somewhere, you didn't pay for it. I was completely... So I asked them, where is the place? I'll pay for it. So I thought you had gone to Accra. So I said, show me the place, I'll pay for it.
There's an usual joint that I normally go to, Mr. Peace Wine in Kumasi.
Yes.
That's my friend, and I go and sit there. But I just sent the Mr. Peace Wine. There's a place called Bulldog. And,
yes, Bulldog.
Yeah, Bulldog in Kumasi, a very popular place. But when I go, I don't go to Bulldog itself, but it's just close. So I went to Mr. Peace Wine. I had a bottle of wine with my friends and all that, and I left.
The lady said you paid for the wine.
No, but it wasn't even me.
Oh,
I did not see the lady. I did not engage the lady. So I think a friend of mine from the UK also met another group of friends from the UK, which he bought a Hennessy for them at the cost of 1,300. He paid for it. And everything thereof, he paid for it and we left. Now the next day, I saw it on social media. I was like, where is this coming from? So upon inquiry, then it came out that my friend had gone to Bulldog to buy Hennessy. So in the video, you hear the girl saying that, oh, Otchere Hennessy, 1,300, that's 13 million. And But if somebody can pay for 1,300, how much more 65 Ghana cedi?
Oh, the debt in question was 65.
And they were lying that it was 650. It was actually 65.
I was told 600, and I said I'll pay for it.
No, it was not 600. It was actually 2 bottles of Guinness with some water that I think when my friend left, his friends took. So instead of the girl to take the money from the friends, now he was encouraged by one guy called Pepra in Kumasi, who is an NDC, a known NDC member. He is a Galamsey as well. So the grounds for my disgrace was one, because he's a Galamsey, and I'm fighting against Galamsey. Again, because he's a known NDC, and I'm fighting against the NDC supposedly, then he has to put this thing out to disgrace me. But Paul, this is too cheap. If you want to disgrace Okatakyie Afrifa, you must find something more damning to disgrace me. You see, they tell all manner of stories. No, Okatakyie, you're corrupt. Send me you're corrupt here. I might know about police will see I do BBR. What's the investigation for Okatakyie Afrifa? So you're corrupt. Now it becomes a social media war of trying to tarnish my image. But I tell them, I am made of a tougher substance than what they think. These things will not perturb me. These things will not let me stop what I am doing any day, anytime. I am going to fight for a cause I believe in, regardless. Now, they came after me which way. It did not stop me. It did not change anything. How much more am I party for? So I want to use this platform to tell them that we are citizens of Ghana. If we believe that something is not right, it doesn't matter who is in government. We are going to fight what we believe is not right. They can use all machinations, all tactics to come after me. But they will only be emboldening me when they do that. They don't have any idea what I am made of. They will just be emboldening me.
On your show, the guys who are doing the Otchere work, I love them.